Grand Rising. Hope you're having a good one wherever you are, whatever time of day it is. But for me, it's 7:30 in the morning. The sun hasn't even risen properly yet. Sun rises at 8 and it is 7:34. So I'm in London right now and I'm heading out on a solo mission to go and partner up with an organization called Woodland Ways. And they are specialists in wild survival and bushcraft. Today I'm doing a bushcraft introductory course with them, and we are going to be learning 4 essential skills of wild survival. And they are how to make fires, how to clean and purify water, how to build shelters, and how to find food. So as part of my journey, we're bringing this series to you, Wisdom Foragers. We're bringing you knowledge, wisdom, connection to the ground, connection to the earth, hunting, foraging, gaining insights, history, culture, learning on the move. And what we're going to be doing throughout the series is leveling up our skills. We're going to be going deeper into the field, pushing extremes, pushing our limits, and discovering what we're made of and what we can learn about this incredible planet that we live on, whether it comes down to human culture, history, nature, animals, or survival. So watch this space, enjoy the journey, like, comment, and subscribe if you're not already. Have a good day. You can see in the background the sun has now risen. Look at that golden light busting up through the horizon. It's always an amazing experience being up before the sunrise because you get to experience the waking of the day. Quiet before the storm. So from the cold concrete streets of London, I've made it now into the beautiful, pristine, cold, snow-covered, frost-covered countryside here in Oxfordshire. About to go on this amazing course with Woodland Ways, looking at survival, how to thrive outside in the cold, finding food, cleaning water, making fires, building shelters. It's going to be a lot of fun. Watch this journey. It's cold and fresh. Look at this snow on the ground. It's fresh. You know, what I did is I've layered up, and what they recommended is you layer up. When you come out in the cold, it is really cold. As you can see, well, you can't actually see, but it's 0 degrees today. So it's nice and fresh. But what I've done is I've layered up. I've got a vest on, I've got a warm thermal layer, I've got a nice warm jacket, I've got a gilet, and I've got a jacket on. So my body is warm. I've got good insulated trousers and appropriate footwear. So I'm ready to go. Really pleased to be out here. Love being on the adventure. And you might say to yourself, why have you got up early on a Sunday morning and you've come into the cold where it's snow and frosty? Well, remember, we live life like adventurers.
We love life like adventurers, wild and free. We question and discern with a philosopher's key. We seek out the truth where the mysteries hide, with the courage of warriors through earth, sea, and sky. We are the wisdom foragers, embracing.
So we've come into the woods with Woodland Ways. This is a really beautiful old wood. It's one of these special woods of scientific interest. I have a special type of orchid here in this wood, what brings this wood to an interest point of some form of scientific interest. So we've just done the introduction to the course, where Jay, who is our trainer today, has taken us through sort of like health and safety of being in the wood and an outline for the course. It's really cold now. Been outside now for maybe an hour and a half. And it is really cold, but it's good. Once you move in, it's fresh. I'm pleased I got the layers on. My chest, my body, my legs are pretty good. My hands and my head is a little bit cold. I should have brought a hat and maybe got thicker gloves. But we live, we learn. It's all part of the experience. Really looking forward to getting into doing some of the exercises today. We're going to be looking at how to make fires. We're going to be looking at foraging, how to find different food sources in the woods like this, and we're going to be looking at how to build shelters. It's going to be a lot of fun. One of the first things that Jay mentioned to us today was, you know, today in the modern world, we're so used to getting food from the supermarkets. We walk into a supermarket and you can buy everything you can imagine. All of the supplies. You can go to a pharmacy and get medicines. You can go into a hardware shop and get tools.
My grocery is out there, okay? My butchers is out there. My chemist is out there, and my DIY store is out there as well.
When you come into a woods like this is your supermarket. This is your hardware shop. This is your pharmacy. For while we're walking around in a place like this, we can find all the different elements that we need to survive. It's just having that sharp eye, sharp mind, knowledge and awareness of knowing what you can utilize in a forest like this. So now we've got the great opportunity to start building our shelters. What's been explained really well today is the fact that there's a good rule of 3, right? 3, when you come into the wilderness, you come into the wild, 3 seconds without thinking and you're dead, right? You've got 3 minutes without oxygen, you're finished. 3 hours without shelter in a place like this, if you're stuck, again, you could be dead. 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food, and then they say potentially 3 months without human companionship, and you start going a little bit crazy. Really good way of thinking about freeze. So one of the first things we want to do when we're in a wilderness, when we're in a cold environment, even if it's a warm environment, one of the first things we do is want to build shelter. If you're stuck somewhere, gather your resources, build a shelter.
We love life like adventurers, wild and free. We question and discern with a philosopher's key. We seek out the truth where the mysteries hide. With the courage of warriors through earth, sea and sky, we are the wisdom forgers, embracing life's call. We are the wisdom forgers.
So we've nicely built up the frame and now we're just covering it.
If you sat on the ground now, your arse is going to get cold when you're down. That's just conducting the heat away. So if you were going to sleep in this thing, in this sort of weather, I'd be looking at what can I put on the base to get me off the ground, keep me dry. And I find some dry bracken or something somewhere. I find some other issues. Leaves if you have to with some on top, but at least get something between insulation between you and the ground.
So what do you think of inspection-wise?
Inspection-wise, that's the
Little bit
first
light
thing. What I
on
said
the
about the
bottom.
depth of the thing,
Yeah.
that's not even going to be hidden.
No.
Right.
You know,
No.
but
First
you only
layer.
had 25 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, if you had to for more, the key is to look inside and see how much daylight you can
I think there's
see.
so much.
But actually, not too bad.
Pretty dark. So what then we were just saying, we were saying that we could then add fern on the top of it.
Yeah.
Burn, wood, little sticks, if you need to. Just keep grabbing this stuff, get it on there. You know it's strong
Yeah.
because we've learned it, so it'll take the weight of it. You just need to get as much as you can. If it's not going to rain, that'll do for an evening. And then you can do more the next day.
What did you say the thickness should be again?
There to there.
A whole arm.
Yeah.
Wow.
If you're in that depth, that will be waterproof.
Wow. Set it up now. Okay, let's see how we're gonna go. Okay, how's that?
Press up.
And
It's like,
army training, let's go, let's go. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty cold. I'm not kind of gonna lie down, but I can pretend. Oh yeah, it's lovely down here. Look at that, eh?
go on then, we'll let you out now. Well done.
This is a really good emergency shelter if you're stuck somewhere in the cold, and this will create some insulation. The next thing we would need to do is make it a lot more thicker on the outside, and then if you create an arm length of thickness, it can become waterproof. Then we would want to make sure we can get ourselves off of the ground to keep the warmth in. So we did that in about 25 minutes, pretty quickly. Good skills. We will do that again in the wild in the future.
Through the woodland, silent and slow, footsteps light where the cold winds blow. Eyes on the branches, tracking with care, reading the wild like a hunter's prayer. The pigeon takes flight, swift through the air, a moment of balance, a moment to spare. Not for sport, not for greed, but for life, for honor, for what we need. We walk with the wild, we follow.
From here, we were shown how to prepare wood pigeon that had been shot recently that weekend, and we were shown how to take the breast meat from the pigeon without using a knife. It was a fascinating method, somewhat challenging, to remove the wings, remove the head, to open the bird inside out, to check the quality of the meat from within. So as we've opened up the carcass, we found the heart, the liver, the gizzard, and make sure that it's all healthy. So once we've checked our carcass to make sure that the meat is good, we bring our hand under here, in between the breastplate, hold on, and then to remove the breast itself from the breastplate in preparation to be cooked.
From sky to earth, from fire to air, we are wisdom foragers, embracing the call. Hunter and gatherer, wisdom entwined, nature's rhythm.
So a lot of the snow and the frost has melted in the forest, and actually melted much quicker than out in the fields. You know, there's so much more cover inside the forest, cover from the cold of the sky, and just general cover, so it's not going to be as much snow inside. The wind also is going to be broken a lot by the trees. There's still little bits here. Look, this little piece that opened up here, less trees around, and underneath me you can see a lot more snow and frost on the ground, whereas the areas around here by the trees, there's a lot less snow and frost on the ground because of the cover. So again, when you're outside, get into the woods for cover. It's going to be warmer inside the woods than out in a field or in open ground. Look at this lovely little stream over here near me.
We can see where water runs in the list of priorities. So now we need to understand, well, okay, so how much do we need? So if we think in a temperate environment at rest, how much water would an adult need? The guideline is 3 litres, and one of those litres is taken through food. There's filtration, and then there's purification. There's lots of different ways to purify water, okay? There are systems, which we'll look at in a moment, that will do everything.
What I learned from Jay recently, one of our instructors here today, is that obviously when it rains, you're going to get some shelter under trees, but because of the rainfall on the leaves, it's going to rain for another 30 minutes in the forest after it stops raining, when it stopped outside in the fields because of the dripping.
Living in balance, respecting the dead. The meal is before us, humble and true. The scent of the wild, the smoke drifting through. A bite of the flesh, a prayer in my breath. A moment of silence for life after death. We take what we need, no more, no less. Giving back always, ensuring the rest. A lesson to teach, a future.
Okay, here, this is our specialty, pigeon fajitas.
Wisdom of our ancestors lights our way, honoring life and the gifts we share. From sky to earth, from fire to air, we are wisdom fortunes, embracing the call.
So pigeon is quite gamey, but it's really tasty. And just cook, can't really go wrong with peppers and onion and flatbread. So it's a win.
Before the cities, before the storm, they walked a while, the earth was home. Hands in the dust,
I see smoke.
Stars in their sight, chasing the dark, reaching for light. Sparks from the stone, breath of the wind. Fire was knowledge, where life begins. Warmed by the glow, Wisdom unfolds, the first flame rising, shaping the world. Strike the stone, let the fire burn bright. Ancestors' wisdom, a guiding light. Through the ages, their echoes remain. From ember to blaze, we carry the flame. Smoke in the air, shadows will dance. Fire brought rhythm.
What a day. Really fun day. I'm super cold, but it's been really positive. Lots of great learning, new techniques and methods for making fires, improving our techniques for how to build shelters, great awareness of how to purify and clean water. Great experience of preparing pigeon, wild wood pigeon. Definitely loved it. Really, really excellent group to come away with. Woodland Ways, highly knowledgeable team, and a beautiful little wood. Highly recommended. Watch this space as we go forward and do more. Have a good one.
We love life like adventurers, wild and free. We question and discern with a philosopher's key.